Guys, TV here with Fit Bully TV. We're going to answer a myth today. Now, it's a myth because it technically hasn't been proven. First question, and shout out to Taddy the Vet. People follow him on all platforms. What age do you run or can you run a titers test on a dog?
Titer for what?
Parvo.
You can do it as early as you want.
We're back, people. We had a light intermission, man. So a lot of things happen inside of a hospital. So you can run a titers test as early as 4 weeks.
As soon as you can get blood.
And what age is that?
6, 8 weeks.
Okay.
Have a vein big enough not to stress it totally out.
Interesting. Well, if it's plausible, when I give the dogs their shots, I'm liable to run one just to see where the stuff is on the day of. We normally give the first vaccine in 6 weeks. Now, talk to them about Neopor. Or what's it called?
There's Neopar. I just never use it, so I don't know. It's just Parvo by itself.
And people give it as early as 4 weeks, right? Mm-hmm. And what does that do for the dog?
I don't believe anything. Because you have mom's maternal antibodies are so high that it's fighting the vaccine down. Mm-hmm. No matter what vaccine, even if you give the ones I carry, I'm not going to give it at 4 weeks.
It's a waste of time and
waste of money.
And there's no proof because you would technically have to give the dogs Parvo to see if the shot
is doing what it needs to do.
Guys, there's a myth around medications. What do you think about over-vaccinating? How do you feel about that?
Don't believe in it.
Yeah.
I don't think we're really hurting the dogs. And I think people are just trying to compare it to human medicine too much. Like, can you over-vaccinate a human? Maybe. I've had questions, like, especially having a almost 18-month-old kid, like, that's a lot of vaccines.
But you know what's crazy is he might never had these questions if you didn't have a kid.
Right.
Because now you like this. Well, she wasn't slobbering, looking crazy. You go, that fucking vaccine, goddammit. Yeah. So now you've gone down the rabbit hole, and we talked a little bit off camera about the lack of research, even done on pets and dogs. But you've got to think, if a child can be, because mind you, people, I ain't had a vaccine since I was 13, and that was over 20 years ago. I ain't even seen a needle, a flu shot. I didn't catch no COVID. I was around people, COVID girls, like, oh, I got COVID. I said, I'll be fine. Like, my ability to fight sickness is crazy. And even in school, I only got sick one time ever, and that was with strep throat. But the irony is, I lost enough weight to set a new record. I said, ooh, coach, I ain't never weighed 185 back. I said, I'm like a bug 85. I think I got down to 165, and I set all the records for all the little guys. I said, I still got the same strength though, buddy. But over-vaccinating, it's an iffy topic, up in the air still. I can tell you this, I've met people who have never vaccinated their dogs and they've lived 14, 15 years. Then I meet people who do it every year and same thing. So you still don't know. What would be the study they would have to test to see if it does or doesn't matter? I wouldn't even know.
I have no idea.
Yeah, well, I've never even asked that question.
Some people are just believing the vaccines are causing cancer, and how are you going to prove it? I don't know.
That makes sense. So technically, mom's antibodies are super strong and solid all the way through 6 months.
6 weeks. 6
weeks. I'm tripping. I'm tired as a motherfucker. 6 weeks. At 6 weeks, what's the first shot you give?
I give a Distemper Parvo combo.
Okay, and is that Spectra or which one?
I think that'd be equivalent to the Spectra 5.
So Spectra 5 at 6 weeks, and then when's the next shot do?
8 weeks.
So you do 6, 8, and 12.
And 16.
And 16. And is that for all breeds or specific breeds?
All. If we skip the 8, I do 8, 12, 16, and then sometimes 18, 19 weeks if they're your Parvo susceptible breeds. So your Poodle crosses, Rottweilers,
the
Labs.
Oh shit! I didn't know I knew the Rottweiler could. For whatever reason, is there anything scientifically that says, hey, they can run higher risk of Parvo all the way through 4 months?
I'm sure there is. I just haven't read it.
Yeah, me neither. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I did know that they're more susceptible to Parvo for whatever reason. Yeah. You have to go down that rabbit hole. That makes sense. So 6, 8, and 12, and 16 are ideals to give your dog everything it needs. And when you do you stick with the Spectra 5 or do you go up?
It would be, so if you do the Spectras, it would be 5, 5, then you would add in Lepto at the 12 and 16.
Because lepto, what happens if you get lepto at 6 and 8 weeks?
People do it all the time. I just think it's so much on their body.
I was told once that you could kill a dog if you give lepto too early. I don't know if that's true, but
I know plenty that will do it at 8 weeks. Plenty of vets.
Vets too, huh? Get that lepto at 8, but you think that 12 and 16 are ideal.
Just lets their body mature a little bit.
That's food for thought. Well, we're going to definitely go through our process. You know, we live in Texas, so I go up the street and get the shots. They sell them at Tractor Supply and what's that other joint? Atwood. He actually passes that joker. And it's not super expensive, but we do have a vet here, and we'd love to bring a couple of dogs in and run some tests and see how they're just get his thoughts, to say the least. I get the shot question all the time. I know some of you Negroes watching be trying to duck and dodge going to the vet. Then when your dog gets sick, you kind of paid for it if you didn't pay for it. So I'm not going to tell you I'm a big believer in shots. What I would tell you is we take our dogs everywhere. And so it's like, hey, is it the deer that's dangerous for the dog, or is it the deer piss in the water? Well, where am I at? We be in the woods and all kinds of random places with the dogs in water. So it's better to be safe and not sorry, especially in my opinion, the first year. But what I am going to do, since we have Tadlock with us, is at the year mark, I want to see where their titers are at to see how it fared. And I might even bring a recent dog in just to walk them through what the titers is, how it works, what it does. Because some dogs and you could correct me if I'm wrong, would you say, actually kind of stay pretty strong in terms of immunity.
Sure.
And don't always need to keep getting updated. Now, mind you, people, I ain't been updated in years. So I don't know. I might be carrying something for all. But what I do know is so far so good. That's all I got to say. Anything else that you know about shots, things to be mindful of? Because nowadays, like you said, hey, this one induces seizures. This one gives cancer. Everything seems to be a problem. But unfortunately, there's not proof beyond a reasonable doubt. Like if we go to court, people, there's things I can prove to you beyond a reason. If I stepped on his toe right now, it would hurt. Beyond a reasonable doubt, it would hurt. Is there any proof or anything that says that these things are actually dangerous for the dog?
No.
Okay. It's that simple.
I mean, if I'm willing to give it to my animals, I don't think it's going to hurt them.
Yeah. And again, I got the question. I said, no better person to talk to about the question. Hey, should I give my dog shots? I was like, yeah. What are your thoughts on it? My thoughts are, depending on what you're doing, where you're going, how much time, energy, effort, woods, and various environments. Like, for instance, I wouldn't do Spectral with the Lyme disease in Texas, but I would do it if I was in the East Coast. You know, it's more ticks and stuff out there.
Yeah, I don't even carry Lyme vaccine.
That's my point. And every one of them kind of levels up depending on stasis, like where you're at, in a sense. Outside of that, people, guys, just take care of your dogs, man. Yeah.